Hello everyone, welcome to another new video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the past few trades I have taken over the last month. There are quite some few trades I've done and yeah, I have pretty interesting results. It's worse than I thought, but that's why we're here. So to give some context for this trading, yeah, so we are basically in a uptrend. So we have a low, high, low, high, low, and then we got a rejection here. So that's what happened so far, and now we have a local downtrend, and we're still holding around this area right here. So that's where we are now. And the first few trades were in this kind of like uptrend from this support level over here. So this is all the way from here. So because we had here our support level, that also means we can take we had our support level here, and it's able to hold itself. We are able to look for longs. So yeah, so let's review the trades. So the first trade is the one I took here. So basically the trade you take here because you have a rejection here, and then you look for an entry. So the entry, how I've done it, is you have this kind of sweep, and then suddenly you lose all this structure here with this sweep over here. So it sweeps up, grabs some extra liquidity in this green box that we have drawn from this. Actually, around that time it should be around like this, but now it's here. So it's all the way from there. You sweep this out, which allows us to look for a long. So looking for longs, there are a few ways we could have looked for a long. And I think the most interesting one here is this level here. Since so normally I would have taken it here, so really at the imbalance at the high. But in this case, it would have been more interesting to take an entry here from this point because you see how much interaction it has. So we have it's a very solid support level over here. It also reacts here. You also have the candle that stops here again and then continues again here. So that would have been a very interesting. That was the reason of this entry, and as you can see, it played very nicely. So we took our low, and then it enters here. And then we took our entry, and we took our entry. The take profit, the first profit area was this. I think, yeah, in the future I will also take more profits locations, but for now I won't do that. Then we rejected this area basically. We had a rejection of this area. Oh, the reason why I also take this trade is also because you see the stop in momentum. So the stop in momentum also really gives an indication of an entry possibility. So I took this entry because we are nearing to a resistance point, right? Then here, this one was really hard, I have to say. Actually, I took a trade here because, and I took a short here because I looked at this perspective. So we see we have a downtrend, and then I thought the downtrend would continue here, but in reality that doesn't really make sense because if we look at it, why doesn't it make sense? Because it is a downtrend. However, the downtrend is broken here. So this is actually allows us the opportunity to take an. So we took out this last low with this movement here, and this allows us actually to play a long. But in this case, I took a short, which is not good. So in reality, I should have taken a long position here to take our entry and to take a long. So this is a bad trade. The reason of the bad trade is mainly because I'm not trading with the trend. Yeah. Next trade. Next trade, we're heading towards resistance level again. All right. So resistance, and in this case, you could also have taken a long here again. Yeah, how would you have taken this? Here could have taken an entry. You gain this level. Could have taken this entry here. This could have been an entry. Yeah, I think like you could have taken an entry here. This was an entry because you rejected. Yeah, you reject here again. Reject the bottom of this. Interestingly, you reject this again 2 times actually. So also gives an indication of yeah, that's most likely a short possibility. And I think an entry, yeah, how would you play this entry? So you gain this really hard to be honest. I want to say you would have taken an entry here, but then again, yeah, maybe this is a stronger level, so you take out this level. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how you would have played this. Yeah, you also could have played this as a support level. So you break this level here, boom, take your entry there. So this would have also been a quite good entry if I would have fine-tuned it. Yeah, that's also pretty good. Yeah, so very unfortunate that I missed that opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. So two opportunities. Then I took a small trade here. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah. I took the trade here. I got out, but it doesn't really make sense that why I took this trade. Although I got my profit. Yeah. So you see why I took this trade. We get like a uptrend, and then we have our support level here, and then I take my entry there. But I think it's not a good trade, to be honest. Really, it's not a good trade. So we'll go to the next trade. So next trade, very interesting level. So I drew a support level here. Actually, to fine tune it, I drew it like that. And this one is tricky since you have kind of like you have this level here and you have this level here. It's really tricky actually, in my opinion, really hard play. So rejected here, also from this upper, you reject it. And then I took this trade here. I also did not use any confirmation and I got stopped out. Same here again. Why did I take this trade? I take this trade because it was a very interesting imbalance here. This is a rally base, that's what they call them, but it's also lost out. And I think here the problem as well, first of all, I should have used the volume profile here in this large range. Every time you break out this large range, and especially in this context where you are looking for lower highs, and then you break out, and then you go back to the lower high range, which is this. You can use a volume profile, and if I use the volume profile, it would have been a very interesting spot to take a trade. So yeah, I should have used the volume trade, and also if I want to analyze it a bit more, I think here also same problem. Yeah, here it's really tricky because I want to say like I could have taken this level here, but to be honest, I would not have done it. I don't think I would have done it. So probably the solution again is to really analyze it in price. So if I take this trade again, I would probably analyze it better. So what's happening? So we get a first stop here, stop again here. We break out this. Yeah, we break out this level. Then we look for new opportunities somewhere like this. Yeah, so you basically, I would have taken this level here. You break it out, look for an entry, and your entry is there. And then stop loss something like here. Stop loss here, and this would have been entry. So that would have been much better. You see, the spirit is like 21. It's like 3 hours, right? Here again. But here I think it's really tricky. So here you break out this range here. Very strong imbalance. Yeah, okay. So you break out this range here. You need to actually take a 1 minute charge. And then you take your entry here again. And then you could have also done the same thing here. If you would say like, okay, you want to break out this level and then your entry is here, also would have worked. So I think that's also a much better strategy. Second trade went really well. Wow, really, really well. Super happy with this one. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart. We had a resistance level here again. This is a very important point as well. Even if we go with the volume chart, you see there should be, yeah, so there should be a lot of volume in this area. You see that? And then here as well, but here is more important, in my opinion. There's a lot of volume here. Very beautiful trade. Probably also, yeah, again, you see the same thing here again as well. So you go 3-minute chart, and I should have also technically really analyzed it better. I should have really looked for a confirmation again. So you break this level here. So you have your first stop here, then you make your first high. Then you have, so you break this. Oh, fuck, shit, what's going on? Okay, sorry, oopsie. So you break this level here, and you look for another entry, and that entry can be, this is very strong imbalance, could have been here. Oh, then again, actually this itself is also a pretty good entry. So actually this is a bit better. Another lesson learned. So better in more interaction can also, so you would have, instead of entered in an imbalance, you would have entered in a support level, a very strong support level, indicated by a lot of levels, right? Then here again, same problem, stopped out. I want to take a trade here, but you can see it's very hard to, you really need to look for confirmation when you approach a level. I think that's the main lesson here for me. It's almost impossible to really take a trade without any confirmation. So yeah, I got stopped out again here. That's really shit. I mean, I could have also looked for here. Also would have been possible. Like, but yeah, look for confirmation. Can I see the confirmation? Yeah, we'll break this out. Yeah, even in here, I would have been stopped out. There's so much going on. I wouldn't like this. So I would have said that you probably gained this. You are reversing your momentum. You're heading for a reversal, and then you would have taken your trade here. But doesn't look good. I would have been stopped out for sure, 100%. I think also the reason why I also don't like this trade, as you can see, is actually, first of all, if we zoom out in a larger time frame, so it's this. Same thing here. We see so many support levels here, like here, here, and here again, also a lower sweep. And actually, even from here, you see some support level. So it's really hard to take a trade here. Really, it's really hard. Yeah, and I also had a stop trade here again. Why did I take this trade? Yeah, so if you zoom out, we are in the local downtrend. Actually, if you go to the 1 hour chart, I think that's enough. So 1 hour chart, you have this very strong momentum, and now you're breaking it. So now you're breaking this level here. You're breaking it, and then you look for a pullback, and then you go down. That's the idea for this trade. And this is actually in the 4 hour chart. We are still in an uptrend. In the 1 hour chart, this local trend, this is a downward local. After you reject this level here, you have a local downtrend. Yeah? So that's what's happening. So you trade with the local downtrend. You trade with the local downtrend. So yeah, missed a trade again. Also probably had to analyze it for confirmation. See, confirmation. Strong sweep. You break this level here. Very strong imbalance here. Don't like it much. 3-minute chart. Let's see on a 15-minute chart. Oh, very strong imbalance here. Yeah, so you had a very strong imbalance here. This would have been your trade. I know some people also like, yeah, you break this, you break this whole level, boom, 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 and then you just are bound to look for an entry, for a short entry. So this would have been your short entry, in my opinion. You can also say, if I see any interesting levels, here could have been. Actually, maybe something like this is quite interesting. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, basically that. And now I am here in a trade here. This is a last trade. Like I said, this is kind of like a continuation trade. So we rejected this level again, and now we broke this trend here, and I think, yeah, and we have a very strong imbalance here as well. So we broke this trend. We are in a local downtrend here, and I would like to see it continue. Although I don't think it's a good trade since we're in a kind of like a support zone. So to take a short there, I don't know. I really don't know. Should I take a short there? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, but then again, we have a lot of volume here in this range. We broke this structure there, so we have a local downtrend again. And the most logical option is to look for another higher low. And I think that can be there. Could make sense. So yeah, that's about it. I think for the lesson that I have learned is basically really trade on confirmation. Also, the time frames is really something you need to categorize. Like, do you identify structure, like correlate the structures you see with one time frame? Don't get it mixed up. Don't use a 15-minute structure to confirm a 4-hour entry. Like a 4-hour structure entry. Like, yes, top-down analysis is a thing, but you really need to categorize it. I think, and I still actually I don't really know what I mean with that, but I'll think about it. But I really feel like actually when I look at these structures, like for example in this structure we are here, do I see it as a low, or is this a 15-minute or yeah, do I see this as one low, or do I see this as an uptrend or a lower trend? trend. Do I see this as a reversal trend or like an uptrend or a lower trend? Yeah, that's something also you have to differentiate in your time frames. So I guess that's also what I mean with categorize your time frames. But for now, I'll just leave it like this. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.